everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all types of topics related to narcissism. So if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. I would really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. It's a free way you can help me out, and definitely don't forget to leave a comment because I like to read what you have to say. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that scare narcissists. But before I get into it, let's talk a little bit about who a narcissist really is. If you are in a relationship of any type with a narcissist, and I say relationship in very loose terms, it is certain that they will take you aback. They will shock you, really, with their emotional cruelty and coldness. A defining characteristic of narcissism is somebody who is absolutely heartless towards anybody else's feelings. Narcissists ultimately break your spirit. They emotionally traumatize you to the point that there is no joy in your life. There's no active dreams, no happy days. There is just drudgery, and then worse than that, an acceptance of it. Narcissists do not care in the slightest when they hurt you. Me saying it doesn't do that justice. Feeling it is devastating on a level that is deeply traumatizing. Narcissists are evil. I don't know what other word fits them so fittingly as evil. They can certainly dish it out, but they will turn into spineless cowards when they're confronted with what scares them. So, with no further ado, let's go ahead and discuss 5 of the things that scare a narcissist. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is you, me. We scare a narcissist. Us gaining strength scares a narcissist. Now, technically, narcissists are human. They have flesh, bone, blood. They breathe, they eat. However, where their humanity is, where their soul should be, the place where love would live, their personality, it's like a patchwork quilt. It's pieces of other people's personality that they've picked up here and there. A narcissist doesn't exist as a genuine person. I used to volunteer at the preschool that my kids went to, and very often when little kids painted, they would gleefully mix all the different paint colors together. So what individually were brilliant, vibrant colors or soft, pretty pastels, together it would turn into a gloppy, ugly brownish color. A narcissist personality looks and smells like you know what. That's who a narcissist is, gloppy and ugly. Whatever else they could have been exists now as something ugly and repulsive. One of a narcissist's deepest held secrets is that they need you so that they can pass as human, but they need you to be unaware of this. A narcissist needs you to feed them constant supply so that the fake persona they need themselves and others to believe in is real, that it can exist on some level. You have no idea for quite a while what's really going on. You hold on to all the power, especially if you're a main source of supply. You are the relationship. Now, it seems the exact opposite. But that's the thing with narcissism. Nothing is as it seems. You're living in an alternative reality with somebody who's so isolated from the reality of their own existence. The truth is that they are completely dependent on you. I know it feels like it's the other way around, but that isn't the truth. Part of dealing with a narcissist is learning the truth about who they are, what you're dealing with. Never forget how dependent on you that they are. We end up, when we are in entanglements with narcissists, we end up opening and stepping inside our own jail cell and then handing the narcissist the key. Then it seems that getting that key back is impossible, that it's unbelievably difficult. But that is only because we have been conditioned to fear a narcissist. But a narcissist isn't even real. Codependence is what keeps us hostage, not the narcissist. Breaking free from codependence will get you that key back. When you gain strength, it will destroy a narcissist. A strong person emotionally is kryptonite to a narcissist. Remember the truth about a narcissist. Inside, they're nothing but stolen pieces of other people's personalities. They don't exist without you giving them life. So think about how messed up that is. And a healthy person's self-esteem comes from the inside. A narcissist doesn't have any self-esteem. They feed off of the attention and adoration, the supply that you give them to regulate and control who they pretend to be. Without you, they don't exist. The second fear I'm going to discuss is abandonment and rejection. When you reject a narcissist, you are rejecting the false self that the narcissist has carefully constructed. When a primary source of supply rejects a narcissist, it forces the narcissist to at least temporarily feel the feelings inside of themselves that they hide from at all costs. A narcissist is 100% dependent on supply. It feeds off of it. A narcissist doesn't have any inner resources. They have no strength to fall back on. The day that I left my ex, when he found out, I should say, he was in absolute shock. Because even though we were separated for 2 years, he believed he controlled me. A narcissist always makes up their own reality. There is no such thing as reality for a narcissist. It's what the narcissist wants it to be. So we were separated for 2 full years, but he still believed that I was his possession. I wasn't a person, I was a possession. Our house was my cage. When I was at home, he knew where I was. I wasn't going to leave the house. This is where I lived, so he would always know where I was. Now, obviously, my ex doesn't know anything about me. My God, even this channel alone. I have changed completely from the scared, weak person he knew me as. He doesn't know me at all now. Narcissists cannot change, and it doesn't occur to them that other people can. My ex will always see me as he wants to see me, because reality doesn't mean anything to a narcissist. They don't exist in reality. Reality is their false world. A narcissist cannot comprehend that the self-reflection that produces real change. A narcissist wants to keep you in a little box forever. It is inconceivable that they could be rejected. That isn't allowed. So they don't even give you that option. You're not allowed to do that. Now, they can reject you, but you are not allowed to reject them ever. They've made you into whatever they want you to be. So I have in screenshots from my phone, my ex's real-time shock in texts when he discovered I left. There was disbelief, fear, shock, now anger that's going to always stay. But to him, I'm broken. Now, not I'm broken emotionally, I broke from who he made me into. I've stopped working the way I'm supposed to. I'm not a person, I'm an object. He will never stop feeling anger towards me because he will never be able to self-reflect. So I broke, something went wrong with me. Now he has new supply. His new supply is AA. That's replaced me as his main source of supply. Now, the thing about AA, I think for him, AA is safe because it can never reject him. AA is a group. It's a group of people who are trying to heal from alcohol addiction. AA by itself is not a person. Of course, there are people there, and he could connect with somebody there. However, if anything goes wrong with AA, he can just stop and go to another group. He can be fake at AA because he never has to get down to a deep level. He can say whatever he wants to at AA. The people that are at AA, not that they don't care, but they're dealing with their own issues. So everything's on a surface level there. So he can feel safe there. So that's his new supply, AA. Now, the third thing I'm going to discuss that a narcissist is afraid of is failure. Of course, by definition, narcissism is an inflated sense of self-importance. A narcissist believes that they're superior to everybody else. Accepting failure would ruin that. It would destroy the legend they are in their own minds. You can be a failure, I can be a failure, and they can certainly believe that about us, but never about themselves. Remember, a narcissist Truly, who a narcissist is an entity that makes up a false reality. They don't have anything inside. Everything's on the surface. They'll believe whatever they choose to believe about themselves and about you. And what they choose to believe about themselves is that they are a winner in life. They are successful. If they feel that if they believe that they haven't gone as far as they want to in life, it's your fault. It's my fault. Nothing is ever their fault. They are a perpetual victim. Now, of course, realistically, no one is a failure quite like a narcissist. A narcissist destroys everyone they touch. They have a messed up Midas touch. Nothing they touch turns to gold. Everything they touch is traumatized. The casualties that surround every narcissist are evidence of their failure as a spouse, as parents. It's disgusting and devastating. Of course, a narcissist will blame anybody but themselves. The reality is that a narcissist might try and run from the failure that they are, but at every turn, there they are. The fourth fear a narcissist has is being ignored. This is pretty ironic, isn't it? Because narcissists love ignoring other people. I mean, they are the silent treatment kings and queens. However, if you protect yourself from a narcissist by going no contact, they will feel it. God forbid you ignore a narcissist. In a way, by you going no contact, a narcissist will cease to exist. It's impossible for me to overstate, and I've said this several times in this video, the importance of narcissistic supply to a narcissist. If you ignore a narcissist, they will feel pain. It will humiliate them. Who do you think you are? And they're going to want to hurt you back. In response, expect one of these things. Now, if you're lucky, they might ignore you. If they do that, thank God and don't look back. However, it's very likely that they'll do one of these things. They'll either insult you viciously and get flying monkeys involved. They may get violent or stalk you. They may try to manipulate you back, but never, when I say back, like back into the entanglement, but they will never for a second forget the sin that you committed. Remember that. If you stop talking to a narcissist, if you punish a narcissist in a way, if they believe that you've punished them in any way, they will never forgive you ever. That's not what a narcissist does. They might pretend they will, but they will constantly throw it in your face. The truth about a narcissist is that the best way to protect ourselves is to go no contact, to stop talking to a narcissist. They are toxic. They're poison. You can't keep taking poison and be okay. If you are involved with a narcissist in any way, the best thing that you can do is leave the entanglement and run for your life, not look back. There are so many people, myself included, oh my gosh, so many people all over YouTube, all over the internet. People will tell you who are with narcissists or who were with narcissists, they don't change. It's a hopeless situation, but you are not hopeless. It's hopeless when you're tied into somebody who's not real. You can't be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't exist. And that's what we're trying to do when we're with a narcissist. It doesn't matter how long you've been with a narcissist. You can't salvage anything. The best thing that you can do is get out and start your life over. It's not what people want to do. I get it. I didn't want to do it either. But once I did it, it was the best thing that has ever happened to me. And it can be like that for you too. So, ignoring a narcissist, going no contact is the best way to do it. But remember, a narcissist will not let you go easily, hardly ever. If they do, take it and thank God. Now, another thing you need to consider, and my ex did this so many times, actually, I can't even tell you. Like it was all throughout the years we were together. He stopped doing it the last few years, but oh my gosh, this was something he did on a regular basis. He would threaten to harm himself. So if you ignore a narcissist, if you go no contact, they might actually threaten that they're going to harm themselves. They're doing this deliberately. Now, a narcissist, remember what I said at the beginning of the video, they don't care what happens to you. They don't have any concern at all. I know this. Now, I didn't test this out, but I know this. I know that this would happen. If I told my ex, now I know obviously now he's really mad at me because I left him, but let's just say 5 years ago, I told him that I was going to harm myself, he would not care. He would not try to talk me out of it. He would just be like, okay, well, I hope you don't do it. Like he would say something like that. They don't care. They just don't. A narcissist, however, if they tell you that they want to harm themselves, they are going to expect that you are going to immediately want to take care of them, that immediately you're going to want to comfort them, come back to them, do whatever they need. They are doing it to get you back, and then they're never going to forget what you did. When you go no contact with a narcissist, be prepared to make it permanent, because if you don't and you go back with a narcissist, they are not going to forget it. They will never forget it. It will constantly be held over your head. So don't do it until you're ready. But when you're ready, do it on a permanent basis. It is the best thing that you'll ever do. Leaving a narcissist is never a regrettable situation. Now, the last thing that I'm going to discuss is the last fear is exposure. Now, the thing about exposure is that this actually was the exact reason my marriage ended, was I threatened to expose my ex. Now, my marriage was over for several years, really, before we officially split up, but I didn't have the strength I was afraid to tell him to leave. I was afraid of it. However, on this last day, I got so mad at him because he was giving me another silent treatment. I know some of you have heard this story, so I'm just repeating it for people that don't know. So the last day we're together, my ex was giving me another silent treatment. I told him he had to leave the house. At that point, I was afraid for my mental health. So I told him he had to leave the house. When he was getting ready to leave, he started grabbing clothes and stuff. He was still ignoring me, and something in me broke. Now, my ex had been giving me silent treatments for almost 20 years. This particular day, I couldn't take it, and I started yelling at him. And at one point, I said to him, I'm going to tell everybody exactly who you are. And when I said that, he stopped what he was doing. He turned around, he looked at me, and he was glaring at me. Hate came out of his eyes. That's what I saw from him. He walked over to the wall, and he started banging his head on it repeatedly, with such force that he was bleeding. I was absolutely terrified. I had my kids home. I called 911. So the whole time I'm on the phone with 911, you can hear him in the background screaming, "Mommy's hurting me. Ow, ow, mommy's hurting me." I cannot adequately describe the shock that I was in when he did this. So the police come to the house, and he stopped at that point. He stopped banging his head at that point, but he had blood rushing down his face. The paramedics were there, and I overheard him telling the paramedics that I had done this, that I didn't do anything. She just grabbed me and was banging my head into the wall over and over. It was the stupidest thing that I've ever heard. It was unbelievable. Now, especially because there's a really big size difference between us, there's no chance I could have done that. But he kept insisting on it, and that triggered a Child Protective Services investigation on me. That was why I ended the entanglement. That it had gotten to the point where I literally was not able to take anymore. Anything would be better than being with him. So it took that type of pain. And that's something I want to tell you. If you're dealing with something and you're afraid, and you're in so much pain anyways, and then on top of it, you're afraid to end the entanglement with the narcissist, please remember, things are hardly ever as bad as you imagine them to be. What you believe is the worst thing that could ever happen to you could, in retrospect, be the best thing to ever happen. For me, that night was a good night because it gave me the strength to leave the entanglement, changed my life because of that. My children have a future because of that. Never be afraid to step into the unknown when you're dealing with a narcissist, because nothing is as bad as being with a narcissist. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to leave you with some words of encouragement that I saw that I thought were very fitting when it came to a narcissist. Fall in love with somebody who will never let you go to sleep wondering if you matter. And secondly, don't let idiots ruin your day. I appreciate everybody watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please like it. And I will talk to everybody on Monday, hopefully with Joe. I know he's been a little bit spotty on the show, and he can be the one to explain to you why that is. But hopefully he will be here on Monday. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. God bless you.